As the holiday season approaches, so too does the Rise of Kingdoms holiday patch, and this one is huge, including new holiday events, 2 new archer commanders, the new iconic equipment system, and more. So in today's video, we'll be taking an early look, a sneak peek into the upcoming Winter's Tale patch. We will be looking at these updates through a test server. Obviously, with the 9 billion gems, this is not my main account, although I wish it was. It's absolutely stacked with everything we need to showcase everything in this patch. Let's start off with the holiday events. So we actually have a ton of holiday events here, some familiar, such as In the Search of Wonders. It's essentially just a way to spend gems on armaments if you desire to do so. The next one is a brand new one, Smithy Specials, and from what I'm getting here is it's actually a way to get some blueprints. If we go ahead and look at the rules, you can pick any blueprint that would have been available through the egg event. I can scroll through all of the blueprints here. In my case, I picked the Shield of the Eternal Empire blueprint fragments. Any unused tempered hammers will be converted into gems at a ratio of 1 to 200. Interesting. These tempered hammers are actually pretty valuable, and the way that you get them is from purchasing the Forge Finery Bundle, Christmas Party event, and the Merry Cakemas event, which we'll be seeing. So in this event, you can buy things like resources, speed-ups, materials, blueprints for the cost of resources, gems, and hammers. And one thing that I would actually suggest for this event is, as you can see right now, as you buy things, other things in the shop get discounted. So what you can do is buy the things that cost resources so that the things that cost gems and the things that cost hammers get discounted for you. So you can repeat this process until you buy out the shop, and by then the shop will automatically refresh. This event is great, especially with the new iconic system coming out, because you can use this event to get new blueprint patterns as well as materials and use them for the iconic leveling system. The next event is Pages Past. This is a brand new event, so let's go to the rules here. During this event, you can use ancient pages on the event page to help Igira's greatest scholars repair damaged old tomes. Every single time you use an ancient page, you will receive a random reward from the grateful scholars. You'll be ranked alongside your other governors in your kingdom based on the amount of ancient pages you've used to repair the damaged tomes. At the end of the event, top ranked governors will receive additional ranked rewards. You get these pages, you can actually buy them from gems. You can also buy the Ancient Memories bundle, as well as finding ancient pages from helping alliance mates, from purchasing items in the courier station, training units, and doing barb forts. Oh wow, you actually get an infinite amount from barb forts. So I think you will have to be grinding out these barb forts for these ancient pages if you want to get ranked. And just for context, the rank rewards is actually a lot. 20 gold heads, 10 gold heads, and 5 gold heads. I think you'll get gold heads until rank 7 here, which you'll only get 1 at that point. So it's going to be pretty competitive, and I like that even though there are bundles, there's an unlimited amount that you can get from barb forts. So if you're F2P and you really want those gold heads, I guess let those AP pots fly. And let's see if it's actually worth. What do you even get from repairing these pages? So let's go ahead and do a repair. So we got some speed ups. What's a full repair? Use all my ancient pages. We have 998. I don't know if I want to use all 998 ancient pages. We can go ahead and just keep repairing just to see it. From right now, it just looks like speed ups and stuff. So we can go ahead and maybe do 10. So it looks actually pretty regular. Oh wow, a teleport is actually really good. Universal speed up is pretty good. But you do get some building speeds and stuff. So let's go see what we get from a full repair. 990 ancient pages. Let's see. Okay, so it's actually pretty regular. It's a good way to get some speed ups. Also a good way to get some resources, I guess. And the teleports are really nice. But it's not really something that you go for the ancient pages for directly. I guess if you want to continue on and get the ranked rewards here, that's where you would go ahead and start doing some bar forts. The next event is Merry Cakemas, and this is the coveted 7k gem event where you get a lot of legendary commander sculptures, you get some materials, you get some gems, a bunch of goodies, and you actually also get some of the tempered hammers that we were talking about for the Smithy Specials event earlier in the video. So this event even has more value than it had previously. We could go ahead and count up the heads, and it looks like it's the same amount of gold heads, just also having the tempered hammers for the Smithy event. So super good event to hold for, and you definitely want to save 7k gems for this event. And the way that you level up your cake in this event is by buying a bundle through a bunch of events, or by gathering city collection, defeating barbarians. It's not really too hard to max out these events, and I would honestly say that you don't really need to buy the Blizzard's Blessing or the bundle associated with this event, because you can usually do it from killing barbarians or chaining some barbarians or all the normal stuff as well. And as if you also want to, there is a $10 tier which tops you up and gets you to level 25 pretty comfortably. The next event we have going on is the Christmas party event. This event is the normal 5-day series that you see during holiday events. There's nothing really too different, except the special currency you get on the side here is actually the tempered hammers for the Smithy event. So you get it from the bundle, you get it from Merry Cakemas, and you also get it from logging in daily in the Christmas party event. The quests are like do some barb forts or train some troops, just practically doing your daily objectives and playing. You'll be able to finish up this Christmas party event pretty smoothly here. We also have Sorority Assault and arms training, nothing new here. The last event that I want to cover here for the holiday events is actually the Zenith of Power, because the Zenith of Power skin, really strong. 15% infantry health. Reign of Rhyme is very strong. It looks really nice too with the winter theme, the ice theme, but 15% infantry health is so strong because infantry health is such a coveted stat. The infantry set, for example, has a lot of defense, so because of that, getting extra infantry health is so big. So if you're garrison or rally lead, you'll definitely want to get your hands on this skin. And yeah, as Zenith of Power, of course, you only get a permanent skin for being top 10 ranked in the continent, which is really hard. You'll probably need around 30 million, 40 million power depending on the continent, especially since it's such a highly coveted skin, but it is definitely worth it to try and get if you can. So that is it for the holiday events, but there is a new KVK event that happens at the end of KVK, which is the Go Down in History. So let's go take a look here, because I believe look at that. So you can go ahead and look at governors and kind of see. I'm gonna guess this is based off of stats, kind of vote for MVP. So you could vote for any of the MVPs here. I'm gonna go for the heck was that of a tumble. I'm not too sure what that is, but pretty interesting. We could go ahead and read the rules here. Non-conquest seasons. If this kingdom has captured the Great Ziggurat in the Lost Kingdom at any point at the end of the season, you can receive the Go Down in History event. In this event, you'll be able to elect the governors who made the greatest contributions in your kingdom to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. And then in the Nile story, if your camp has occupied the Great Ziggurat, you get it. In other stories, it'll be ranked based on how many autarch testimonies you've got. So if you got in the top half, so for example, if it's a 4v4 KVK, if you're in that 4, you will be able to unlock this event. So for the seat allocation, I'm not even too sure what the seats are, but apparently whoever has a great Zig will have 3 Hall of Fame seats. Everyone else will have 1. In Season of Conquest, it is also the same. Selection process. In the Go Down in History event, all governors that took part in the Lost Kingdom will receive a candidate score based on their total kills and deaths. Okay, so the top 20 governors in your kingdom by candidate score will be added to the Hall of Fame candidate list. The top 300 governors in your kingdom will be able to cast votes for the Hall of Fame candidates. The specific number depends on how many Hall of Fame seats your kingdom has received. With the most votes, will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Inductees can submit a written speech alongside their name, which will be permanently added to the Hall of Fame. When a governor is introduced, their nickname, avatar, alliance, and speech will be permanently recorded in the Hall of Fame. This info cannot be changed later. Other governors can like or share the inductees' Hall of Fame display. Interesting. So is this like a Hall of Fame for all of Rise of Kingdoms? Oh, I'm not too sure if this is just for your kingdom, but to me it looks like this is going to be a Hall of Fame for all governors in every kingdom. So you'll be able to see everyone's KVK MVPs, essentially, the voted MVPs, which is going to be really, really interesting. Oh, there you go. Yeah, you could see different kingdoms. I'm going to guess this is going to populate as more kingdoms have Hall of Fames, but that's really cool. So the next part of the patch that I want to go over after the events is the Transmog feature. Through the Transmog feature, you can change the appearance of a city theme to that of another city theme while keeping its original attribute bonuses. You can only transmog a city theme into a theme that is the same quality level and unit type. Transmogging city themes requires little brushes. After transmogging a theme, you can restore it to its original appearance at any time via the Transmog interface. Restoring a transmogged theme does not cost any items. So practically, because this is a, this is a cavalry health skin, and this is Sower's Song. Let's see what is Sower's Song. Sower's Song is also a cavalry skin. Because they're both cavalry skins, we can go ahead and transmog Sower's Song with the bridge. I get it now. So it has to be an epic cavalry skin because Sower's Song is epic cavalry. In the same way, if we wanted to transmog, for example, a Twilight Falls, we would be able to with Heliopolis, and Heliopolis is an integration skin. So essentially I will have the 5% skill damage bonus apply while having the appearance of Heliopolis. So if I didn't want to look like a barb for it and I wanted to let people know I won an Osiris League championship, we would be able to kind of flex it like that. So I do have the 5% skin, I do have Twilight Falls activated, but we do have the appearance of Heliopolis. So I'm kind of curious if I switch skins to Heliopolis, apply. Okay, so the transmog is still available for Twilight Falls and it'll always look like Heliopolis even if I switch out, so that's good. So yeah, that is the transmog feature. It's essentially just a graphical thing. If you want to change the look of your city skin, but you want to still use a meta city skin, you are now able to. Now, the two archer commanders look really, really strong. Hermann being available through the wheel, and as well as universal sculptures. And it looks like Ashur, I'm going to call him Ashur, is going to be available through the Mightiest Governor, and it looks like he is going to be a rally commander. Okay, so now we have both commanders maxed. Let's go look at Ashur's skills. For the primary skill, deals direct damage to up to 5 enemy troops in a fan, damage factor 1500,000. Every additional target reduces damage to each target by 15% and deals an extra direct damage to the current target of this commander's troop. It's actually 2.5k to the main target and then only 1500 to the other AoE targets. Okay. This commander's archers gain 20% attack. While outside Alliance territory, their archers also gain 20% defense and 15% march speed. Is actually really, really good. Got 40% of combat stats with march speed 15% is actually really, really big, because that is one of the downsides of archers, is how slow they are and how focused down they get. So the more movement speed for archers, the better. Let us continue on with the third skill. This commander's troops gain 20% more skill damage. Whenever their troops use an active skill while attacking a city or stronghold, their target deals 20% less normal damage for the next 3 seconds, cooldown 5 seconds. That's actually pretty good. Wow. Yeah, this is actually really, really good. The normal damage, which would also include counterattack damage, and meaning that your swarms are going to be taking less damage, which is going to be really, really good. Wow, that's actually a really strong skill. The fourth skill, the commander's troops take 15% less normal damage. If this commander is leading a rally attack, whenever their rallied army deals direct damage, it has 50% chance to gain 3% to skill damage dealt for 10 seconds. This effect can stack up to 10 times, and its duration resets whenever it gains another stack. Some stacking buff bonus on this rally commander, as well as a 50% less normal damage taken, is really good because people love swarming archer rallies, and it makes Asur more punishing to swarm. Whenever this commander's troop uses an active skill, it gains one of the following buffs for 4 seconds. Whoa, chosen at random. So either 30% attack, 30% health, 30% defense, or the troop deals 20% more normal attack damage, normal damage, or the troop deals 20% more skill damage. Wow. This is actually crazy, and I'm gonna guess this is gonna be one of those commanders where you want the skill cycle to consistently be hitting over and over and over again, because there's stacks. So whenever you do direct damage, there's a passive skill which gives you buffs every single time you use an active skill. So definitely you need a rage engine, probably single target damage, because if your secondary commander or the commander with Ashur is a secondary damage commander, you have another chance to stack. So I don't know, we'll have to see what the pairs are. Off the top of my head, maybe Henry with Ashur. Liang is just such a strong commander, maybe you just throw Liang in there. We'll have to see what the Rise of Kingdom scholars have to say about that. As for Hermann, his skills actually got released on social media a couple days ago. For the active skill, deals direct damage up to 3 enemy troops in a fan, damage factor 2k. Every additional target reduces the damage to each target by 15%. Troops hit by this damage are inflicted with 2 stacks of poison for 10 seconds. The poison effect can stack up to 15 times, and its duration resets whenever it gains another stack. For each stack of poison it has, a troop takes 3% more skill damage. So yeah, it's essentially like an AoE Tommy, which is crazy. The AoE poison is gonna be insane stuff. We go ahead to the second skill. It is 20% attack, 20% defense, 15 march speed. It's actually the same stats given in the second skill of Ashur's skills, which is pretty interesting. Third skill, commander's troops deal 20% more AoE skill damage when attacking other troops on the map. Okay, so you actually want to potentially put an AoE commander. First person I'm thinking of is Liang, YSG, Nebu, to take advantage of that 20% more AoE skill damage. Whenever their troops use an active skill while attacking another troop on the map, their current target loses 20% defense for 2 seconds. Wow. The commander's archer units take 5% more damage from cavalry and deal 5% more damage to infantry units. That's actually a downside because there's a lot more cavalry out in the open field than infantry, and cavalry tend to chase down archers in the first place, so you're going to be taking a little bit more damage from cavalry, but you still definitely want to get these skills. For the fourth skill, target type AoE, this commander's troops take less damage from poisoned. So I'm guessing whoever you poison from Tommy's skill as well as Hermann Prime skill, damage reduction is each stack of poison x 1%. So if you have 15 stacks, you take 15% less damage from that target. That's really strong. Whenever the troops launch a basic attack, it has a 10% chance to deal extra direct damage to up to 3 enemy troops in a fan. Damage factor 200. Every additional target reduces the damage to each target by 15%. Troops hit by this damage are inflicted with 2 stacks of poison for 10 seconds. So you have AoE poison on the first skill as well as an AoE poison on the fourth skill. Although it is a slim chance, 10%, it's not going to be that consistent. It's still going to be a very, very strong skill, especially when we look at the expertise, which is whenever this commander's troops inflict 25 stacks of poison on enemy troops, it triggers the Forest of Fallen Eagle skill at level 5, which is crazy because that is the active skill, meaning if you inflict 25 stacks of poison out in the open field, you're essentially like a Joan for archers, where Joan Prime also has a double active skill, which makes her really strong. Hermann will have the same thing. And the thing about Hermann is it'll also help you stack up and get another 25 stacks faster, because you'll be able to instantly get another 6 stacks to proc another Give Me Back My Legions. So it's a very interesting commander, because I've been seeing this debate online about if you should put Liang with Hermann or if you should go with Hermann Tommy for the extra poison stack so that you can get Give Me Back My Legions faster. Only time will tell, and we will have to see who Hermann will be paired with. we saved the most impactful for last, which in my opinion is the iconic upgrade system that is going to be implemented into the game in this patch. And yeah, we've had the iconic system for about a year now, and it has just been using an iconic crystal to upgrade your base stats. So for weapons, for example, it would be base attack. For helmets, it would be base defense. For gloves, it would be base attack. For pants, it'd be base health, etc, etc. And it was just left at that. With this new update, the old iconic system is now at level 1, and there is going to be an addition of levels 2 through 5 per equipment slot. So that means there's going to be an extra 4 levels per equipment slot to upgrade your iconics. One thing that I noticed from this iconic update is that there's actually a pattern with the levels. For iconic level 2, it either ignores an enemy stat, such as for the Sacred Dominion, it ignores enemy defense, or it increases one of your stats, such as for the Sacred Grips, it increases your infantry attack. The rest of the equipments also follow this pattern. Cavalry defense, enemy attack ignored, infantry attack, etc, etc. For iconic level 3, it gives unit capacity increasing based on the equipment level. So for the KVK pieces at equipment level 50, it gives you 1000 unit capacity. For the gloves here at equipment level 45, because the gloves are cheaper, it only gives you 300. So it scales based on the cost of the item. Iconic level 4 actually varies on the type of equipment, but for the most part, for weapons, helmets, chest plates, as well as pants, it increases the amount of damage you either do to field troops, or for, in some cases, the damage you do to rallied armies or garrisons. For the gloves, it actually increases your unit capacity by another 0.5%. And for the boots, it actually increases your march speed by 5%. Finally, for level 5, each equipment type has a different ability. For weapon, it is Fierce Strike, so whenever the wielder's troop launches a basic attack, it has a 10% chance to gain a damage boost for 2 seconds. For the KVK weapons, it's a 6.5% damage boost, but for the set pieces, it is actually a 5% damage boost, so minus a 1.5% of damage boost because of the level disparity between the two equipment items. For the helmets, it's a similar situation, where whenever the wielder launches a basic attack, it has a 10% chance to increase the next skill damage it deals by 6.5% for the KVK pieces, and of course for the set pieces, it goes back down to 5%. For the chestplate, it's Shattering Strike. Whenever the wielder's troop is hit with a basic attack, there's a 10% chance to gain a 5% counterattack damage boost for up to 2 seconds, and it is the same throughout each of these chest pieces. The gloves actually varies. For example, for the armband of the Hellish Wasteland or Navarre's Control, it has Perplexing Ploy. Whenever the wielder's troops deal skill damage or smite damage, it has a 10% chance to reduce the target's march speed by 3% for 3 seconds, and it can stack up to 3 times. So for the Dragon's Breath of Van Braces, it has a very similar effect, except it's whenever the wielder's troop launches a basic attack, and for the Van Braces of the Eternal Empire, it is whenever the wielder's troop takes damage, it has a 10% chance to gain 3% march speed for 3 seconds. For the pants, it is all the same effect, which is Willy. Whenever the wielder's troops launch a basic attack, it has a 10% chance to reduce the next skill damage it takes by 5%. So extra tankiness for skill damage for the pants. For the boots, it gives you 5% march speed and 1% defense while outside Alliance territory, and that is the same throughout all of the boots here. It just gives you specific types of march speed. For example, the archer boots gives you archer unit march speed, while the infantry boots gives you infantry unit march speed. And finally, for the accessories gives you Divine Might, which whenever the wielder's troops launch a basic attack, it has a 10% chance to gain one of the 2 following effects for 2 seconds, cooldown 5 seconds. It deals 5% more normal damage and it takes 5% less normal damage, or it deals 5% more skill damage and it takes 5% less skill damage. the wielder cannot gain both effects at the same time from a single piece of equipment. So as a recap, because that was a lot of information, level 2 increases or ignores stats, level 3 gives you more unit capacity, level 4 varies depending on if it's a weapon, helmet, chest, pants, or accessories. It gives you more damage to field troops or to rallies and garrisons. For gloves, it gives you more troop capacity, and for boots, it gives you more movement speed. And for level 5, there are conditional effects based off of the equipment type. I don't want to list out all of those different effects, so you can go ahead and scroll back a couple minutes and look at all of the different effects there. So my overall thoughts on the iconic system is that the blueprints and materials are going to be such a premium now. It's going to be so hard. You have to think about it. Every single piece of gear that you have has an extra 4 iconic levels to upgrade, meaning that every single piece you'll need 4 blueprints. Costs aren't confirmed as of yet, so I'm not too confident in disclosing the costs, but I approximate it'll be about the same as the refinement system, so about 2 times the amount of materials that it costs to craft. It's going to be really costly. And one thing that I will also bring up is for the accessories specifically, getting ring blueprints is going to be so hard to do because you only get 1 per KVK, so meaning that you'll have to play 4 KVKs to get to iconic level 4, and iconic level 4 is actually pretty good with the 10% chance to either do 5% more normal attack damage and take 5% less, or deal 5% more skill damage and take 5% less skill damage. So it's actually a really good effect, meaning that it'll probably promote kingdoms to go into KVKs more, because the more KVKs you go into, the more faster you're able to get blueprints, the faster you're also able to get iconic crystals. We'll probably see a lot of kingdoms start to employ this tactic where there isn't any recovery period anymore and you'll have to go into KVK right away to get the most bang for your buck. One question I've been seeing a lot is, should you iconicize everything at an even level, or if you should try to beeline straight for 5? The straight for 5 effects aren't actually game breaking. I'm probably going to be upgrading my equipment at an even level. This is because as you upgrade your iconic tier, it gets more expensive, so the first couple of levels are actually cheaper, but the bonuses are still pretty good. You ignore enemy health, you gain stats, so you gain like a minuscule amount of stats here and there. So my current equipment setup is that I have 3 main pieces of gear, which are full legendary, so 1 for infantry, 1 for archers, 1 for cavalry. I'll probably iconicize all 3 of those evenly, and then I won't iconicize my 4th, 5th, and 6th sets, for example. The one thing that I'm actually focused on though is the infantry boots, the sturdy boots of the Eternal Empire, because this march speed is actually going to be really strong for infantry. That's the biggest thing about infantry, is how slow they are. But if you get extra 5% march speed plus another extra 5% with the iconic level 5, your infantry are actually going to be flying. So I actually think going boots for infantry level 5 and potentially going Dragon's Breath boots level 4 is going to be the play, just so that you can get some extra march speed out in the open field. Everything else I feel like is pretty minimal. As an open field player, you can be content with iconicizing everything at even rates and being okay with it. As a garrison lead or rally lead, you'll definitely want to iconicize your garrison or rally set straight to level 5, because even though in the open field it might not make that much of a difference for a garrison or rally, these skills are actually so strong, so you definitely want to get your way up there. So as a final recap, what my plan is for the iconic system is I'll probably iconicize my boots for infantry to level 5, as well as my boots for archers to level 4 for the march speed, and I will be focusing my iconics on my 3 main sets, while my 4th, 5th, and 6th sets, or my second sets for cavalry, archers, and infantry, will be in the wayside. As for a timeline, this patch is going to be going live on December 12th. So we should be able to see the 2 archer commanders, possibly this as early as this next MGE coming up, but we'll have to see when the MGE comes here. And I'm guessing for the actual events themselves, they will come the week of Christmas, because it is a Christmas event series. So that is it for today's early Winter's Tale patch overview. Be sure to subscribe to this channel and let us know in the comments what you liked about the patch or what you disliked about the patch and what changes you would like in Rise of Kingdoms.